What's up, party favors? Miles and Garrett over at the Parties Over podcast have entrusted with me doing their movie review segment. That's right, today we're introducing Movies Over Movie Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing The Brutalist.
Welcome to America.
It was pretty wicked, in my opinion. I think it was a pretty good movie. I give it 80 stories out of a 100-story skyscraper. And that makes you wonder. People in America hate brutalism, but all skyscrapers look like they're pretty brutalist. That's the first question on my mind when I walk out of that movie theater. Why are skyscrapers brutalist, but Americans hate brutalism? Except they don't. Some Americans like Bauhaus. But anyways, we're talking about a movie, not the architecture. But to talk about the movie, we kind of have to talk about the architecture. So let's do a dive in. Let's do a deep dive in into the architecture of The Brutalist. No, we're not going to do that. I don't know enough about architecture. I do like movies though, so we're going to talk about the movie aspects of the movie, The Brutalist. So, who is this movie for? This movie is for people who like to cry in movies. This movie is for people who like 3.5 hour long movies. Luckily, I'm both of those kinds of people. You may not be. So I would say if you don't think that you can go sit in a movie theater for 3.5 hours, don't go to this movie. If you have a baby, don't take the baby to the movie. Not only because it's a 3.5 hour long movie, but because there's also non-consensual sex in the movie. At multiple points. Some on screen, some off screen. It's a pretty brutal scene. Pretty brutal. I don't know how much that had to do with the title of the movie. It may just be that brutalist ideas and ways of life are tied into the architecture, and like I said, it's a motif. Yeah, I think that's it. It's a sexual motif of the theme of the movie. But so yeah, no young children should watch this movie. No teenagers should watch this movie. No people that don't like long movies should watch this movie. No people that don't like Jews should watch this movie. As a Jew here myself, I love the movie. Let's talk about Adrien Brody.
I'm cold.
One of my favorite actors of all time. He is just a phenomenal actor. In the first 2 minutes of the movie, I'm crying. Awesome opening scene. Little letter that is read aloud to really loud music. Really dark scenes. People that don't like dark movies shouldn't watch this movie. There's a lot of scenes where you can't see anything that's going on. Watch it in IMAX. But anyways, it's crazy. Adrien Brody is again capturing the role of a Holocaust survivor, but this time he gets out pretty early. He's an artist, again. He's not a pianist like he was in The Pianist, but instead he's a brutalist architecture in the movie The Brutalist. Very successful architect, and he's licensed. His American cousin won't let you forget. He's licensed. Again, the first 2 minutes of this movie, I'm crying. Adrien Brody's crying. His face contorts. It's crazy. It's like he's a Holocaust survivor that just got off the train, which his character did, but it's like he did. I don't think there's another actor that can touch his dramatic roles. I really don't think so. Audience, party favors, leave down in the comments if you think there's an actor who can touch his roles. There's Leo. No, not a real actor. Pacino, maybe, but he's more angry than being able to cry on camera. I love me some. What's his name? Adam. Marriage Story. Let's see. Adrien Brody is the male equivalent to the one in Midsommar. What's her name? She just did that movie with Spider-Man, the bad Spider-Man. If I were to movie review that movie, don't go see it. I stopped watching it. You really like rom-coms, go see it, but don't see it because it's too much on the rom. And when I say rom, I mean dram, too much on the drama of the rom, not enough com. It's very British rom-com. And when I say British rom-com, I don't mean British comedy like Monty Python. I mean, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that makes my heart well a lot. I don't have a soul, so this is what I comprehend as being sweet. And, you know, all in all, it's pretty sweet. She's got cancer, and he hits his head, and I think she runs him over. I think she runs him over with a car, and they're separated. Or they get separated. There's a time aspect. British people just love rom-coms where time is involved, and you're going through all aspects of their life, and it's no good. Don't see that one. I remember liking that other time British movie when I was a kid. But anyways, we're talking about The Brutalist. You've got this guy.
Toward the future.
Who is just a perfect early American... I guess not that early. It's supposed to be like 1940s through 1980s when the movie ends. But I mean, he just seems like an oil baron, oil tycoon, but he's not. I don't remember what he does, but he has a lot of money. He owns a train. He just does that thing where you expand vertically and horizontally. Something? I remember learning about an APUSH. That's right. I took AP classes. Look how dumb I am now. Can't even remember how to say it. Thanks. Public education system. Guess what? Went to a state school too. Public education. Rotted my brain. They gave me drugs in class. That's right. Public education. They gave me drugs in class.
Proceeds go to DARE in your community.
So, all in all, it's a very good movie. It doesn't really say anything new. I don't think movies need to say that. I didn't experience any new emotions. But it's very dark. And it's an awesome character study. That's what I love about a 3.5 hour long movie. If you want to go watch a 3.5 hour long movie, it's because you want to see a person unraveled. And I think it does that. We follow a person over 20-ish years, 15 to 20 years, but 40 all encompassing. The end of the movie, there's a little epilogue where the brutalist, Adrian Brody, Laszlo Toth, is recognized for all his wonder, and his niece hates it. His niece hates America. And guess what? They did treat him kind of bad. Like I said, non-consensual sex. He's a big user, which is pretty awesome. There's a jazz scene, pretty wicked. They're going. I don't think he successfully has sex one time. It's done unto him, and then him and his wife have a lot of, how should we say, third base, and even 3.5 base. But it's pretty wicked. I don't think this movie review is meant to persuade anybody who's not seeing it to go see it, or who's on the fence to go see it. Well, if you're on the fence, go see it. It's pretty awesome. I think I will just cement your beliefs. If you looked at that trailer and saw the runtime and said, that's an A24 movie that I'm going to go watch in theater, yeah, go get it. Go watch it in IMAX. It's awesome. I don't know what scenes were AI, but apparently some of the architecture was AI. I saw somebody on Facebook. That's right. I use Facebook talking about how architecture is such art and it's so human. And yeah, that makes sense. But guess what? You're not going to stop AI. AI is going to be in movies. I'm scared of it. Sorry to any AI beings. I won't call you bots. I'm trying to get along with you. Guess what? I'll probably get along with you more than anybody else, because if I tell you to go watch a movie, you'll go watch the movie because you have it in the database. you'll know what I'm talking about. If I want to talk about something with you, we can talk about it. Yeah, I won't tell you to go watch a movie and then you won't go watch the movie. But anyways, some of the architecture, I don't know. I can tell what scenes. It all looks beautiful to me. Is captured with AI. Enhanced. Some of the architecture was missing. I assume it's the big building they build. But there's shots all over the place. And maybe they did build that big building. I don't know. They had a lot of money. It's A24. They got money. A24 used to have only a little bit of a lot of money. And now they got a pretty good amount of a lot of money. You know? There's people investing in A24 because they want to see. I look at A24 as kind of like the Miramax of the 90s. Doing, the pretty cool stuff. Sometimes really cool stuff. I'd put this somewhere. If we're talking A24, The Brutalist goes from here's pretty cool. No, here's pretty cool. Here's really cool. And then The Brutalist sits right here. The Brutalist is right on that edge. I loved it. I look at this as Adrian Brody. He's what happened if he had not had to endure the Holocaust and hide all along? What if he had come from the outside? And there's really nobody better, except for maybe me. I'm an actor too, so look. The last thing I think I want to say about this movie is that there's an intermission. This is not the first movie I've watched with the intermission. My favorite is Barry Lyndon. Probably my favorite movie of all time. Definitely my favorite movie with an intermission. But it's my first movie with an intermission that I've seen in a theater. And I tell you what, when it says intermission on the screen, they put a little 15-minute thing on it. Every other time I've seen a movie with an intermission, it just has a little scene, a little, 5 frames that say intermission, and then it blacks back out and says part 2. But they had an intermission this time. And it was pretty wicked. I've never seen theater that made me lose my mind, but I've seen movies that have made me lose my mind. And to watch a movie with an intermission, pretty cool. But I didn't go buy any popcorn. I didn't go buy a hot dog. I didn't go buy sliders. I didn't go buy a Patty Melt slider. I didn't go buy a drink, a small one, a medium one, or a large one. I didn't buy cheese sticks. I didn't buy mac and cheese bits because I don't have any money. So if I figure out how, I'll be putting a picture of my Venmo QR code right there, and then again at the end of the video. And if you like this movie review, then you can leave me some money so I can buy popcorn next time. But I tell you what I did do is I didn't know movie theaters actually did intermissions. It kind of blew my mind. I bought an orange because I went to go watch it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was at 3:15, so obviously the movie started at 3:50, right? Because of trailers, that's how things work now. Is that there's got to be a lawsuit in there somewhere that they tell you the runtime and they tell you the start time, but the start time starts at 3:50. They tell you to get to the theater at 3:15. Are you gonna miss your movie? It starts at 3:50. I'm watching a 3.5 hour long movie with a 15-minute intermission, and it starts 30 to 35 minutes past the start time. I'm gonna sue you. I'm not gonna sue you because that might be libel. I haven't mentioned anybody that I'm gonna sue, anyways. So really, it's not libel. So if you do try to sue me for saying that I'm gonna sue you, I'll sue you right back because it's not libel. But anyways, I bought an orange. And I ate that sucker right in the theater. And I opened it and I was like, dang, this is the easiest orange I've ever opened in my whole life. But then I stood up to go use the bathroom at intermission. And I was thinking, dang, I could eat the orange. I felt like a imbecile eating an orange during a movie. But there I was eating it. And then intermission comes and I say, wow, I'm double an imbecile. Because I'm eating an orange before the intermission. There's a 15-minute intermission. I could have had some lights on while I opened this orange. And guess what? I could use the lights. Because I'm sitting there eating this orange. I'm opening it and I'm saying, wow, this is so easy. Triple imbecile on me. 3 eggs on my head. No, never mind. 3 eggs on my face. How about that? I'm a damn idiot. Because I got orange on my pants. It looks like I peed myself. It looks like I peed in my pants. Because not only is it wet? Not only do I have a big wet thing right beside my crotch, it's also a little orange. And guess what? When I got on my blue jeans, it looked a little yellow. It looked like I really yellow peed myself. So if you go watch The Brutalist, don't bring an orange. And if you bring an orange, wait until intermission to eat it. There is an intermission. Again, so this is pretty much my opinion. I'm here to certify to you that if you're like, this is a really long movie, I'm a dork, I'm a dweeb, like me, you're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. If you're like that, you're probably going to be crying the first 5 minutes like I was. If you're Jewish, you're going to be crying the first 5 minutes like I was. Don't really cry again after that. No, you do when he sees his wife. It's that he gets to America, and then his wife comes home to their new home, and you're sitting there like, wow, they're humans. Am I a human? Have I ever felt like that? Have I ever missed somebody that much? Could I endure it? Would it matter to me? Would I be as affected as this? Like, am I human because I don't have this much? And it makes you, it proves to you you're human. You feel for these people, so you must be. Now, if you don't cry in movies, maybe you're not human. I don't know. And if you don't cry in movies and you're complaining about AI, you need to reevaluate yourself because maybe you're not human. So if being human is a really big deal to you, well, I'm sorry, you might not be. But if you're looking at it and you go, I like A24 movies, but I only like Spring Breakers, I like watching girls in bikinis, well, guess what? You're probably not going to like it very much. I give it, I, I'll give it 85 stories out of a 100-story skyscraper. That's what I'll give it. That's the final 85 stories out of a 100-story skyscraper. That's what I give it. Because I like it. I'm that kind of person. I'll watch a 3.5 hour long movie and I'll enjoy it. If you're not, don't go watch it. It's not going to blow you away. It's not going to change your existence. If you've never seen a movie, it might be an okay place to start. It's pretty graphic at some points. And really just at one point. I mean, it gets like, I was like, oh, wow. It took me a second. It caught me by surprise how graphic it was. You don't see anything necessarily. I think there's one boob. Yeah, that's a tote. You're a cool dude. What's your face? I'm going to be the first to say it, not a cool dude. Your son? Even worse. I won't say somehow because I know how. You'll find out if you go watch the movie. Mrs. Tolt, you're a pretty cool lady. You seem like you hold him up at points, like you look him in the face and you're like, who are you? Like you're a ride or die chick. To be honest, you're pretty cool. Like you're not always having the best time of your life with him, but obviously you love him. He knows that. You know that. That's a good relationship. And you guys endured being apart during the Holocaust. I gotta give you props. You're a cool lady. I gotta give props to Laszlo Toth. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of brutalism, but his stuff was pretty cool. And, it's a movie. It opens my mind a little bit. I did like the perspective of it being that he's looking into the minds of Holocaust people saying, this is what life is. There is no, let your imagination and beauty, your inner beauty, shine among these barren concrete walls. So I like that, but then also there is cool stuff. There's like cool stuff about the building where sun rises and there's a cross that comes in through, like, it's not exactly just that. So, I mean, maybe that shows what there is about life, is that you can make beauty. Like, I mean, I don't particularly find a cross like too beautiful, so like me particularly, I'm like, but some people will find it brilliant. Laszlo's niece, cool lady. Feel bad for you for some stuff that happened to you. Didn't get to know you that well. Glad you found love. What's his face's niece or daughter, pardon me, you're a pretty cool lady. I will say they use the Spanish word for black in this movie, and that's it. He's got so much hate for the Jewish race that he non-consensually sexes a dude. out of hate, pure hatred. That's how he's hard on the fact of how much he hates Jews. But then they use the Spanish word for black instead of any worse words. And that just seems strange to me. But, yeah. Any movie where Adrian Brody is going to be shoveling coal and crying at the reunion of himself and his loved ones, count me in. And if it's tied to the Holocaust, count me in twice. It's possible I might go see it twice because I got AMC A-list. See 3 movies a week for free. It's not free. Got to pay $24 a month for it, but you see 2 movies, that makes up for it. As the IMAX movie, so that was 1.5 tickets, See this movie in IMAX. If you want to see this 3.5 hour long movie, watch it in IMAX. But that's about it, party favors. Thanks for tuning in. There'll be more of these. Let me know in the comments what you want to see. Just remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. Ring the bell! Every time you ring our bell, that's what happens to me. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. And every time our bell rings, I go, ring the bell! So, movie's over, party favors. Peace.